Finally away from all that stupid work. Now I can focus only on you, my darling. You have no idea how much I couldn't wait to just get out of there and drag you to the bed, pin you down, and show you how much I love you. Although it seems as though the coworker is a lot. Okay, I can't say that. Just the thought of it makes me sick. The coworker is like you too, if you can call it that. I know you wanted to start from the bottom so it's not suspicious, or so you don't have the favoritism. However, the company is really growing thanks to your brilliant ideas. Just a bit more, and you'll definitely earn that promotion. Which means you'll be a step closer to being by my side. It's so exhausting to pretend we don't have any personal connection around the other employees. Let alone to not just hold you in my arms and shower you with kisses every second I can. Yeah, gossiper's gonna gossip. It can't be helped, as some anime subtitles say. They don't need to know the truth anyway. Yes, I will give each and every one of them a death stare every time they just gawk at you for even a second. They might not know if we're secretly meeting at work, but I'll let every single person know that you're mine and no one else's. Why are you laughing, dear? Well, of course I'm protective. I don't want to lose you, and I won't let anyone even try to take you away from me. I love you so much, and I'm the only one that can love you. No one will ever love you as much as I do. I won't let that happen anyway. Oh, you always have such a way with words. I don't know if my love and affection are that unique per se because, well, I bet I'm not the only Yandere in the world. But yes, I'm doing everything I can to show you how high the level of my love can be. Higher than anyone else, so you won't look at anyone else. And yes, I said love like 5 times within the last minute. That's how much it means to me, my darling. Actually, speaking of other people, has anyone been a bother to you during your time at my company? Sorry, our company. Because if so, then I'll fire that person right here and right now, and to make sure they never find a job in this country ever again. Even McDonald's won't want them. Yes, I know it's the millionth time I'm asking, honey. But I need to. You never know if someone happens to be a threat to our relationship, or our company. I need to terminate such threats immediately. I mean, terminate their employment. Okay, if you say so, darling. I trust you. If you say it's okay, then it's okay. I just hate all the people that try to interfere with our reigns and love. All the corporate greed, sabotage, blackmailing. That's all disgusting. Paraphrasing one sentence I heard in a court cam episode. I guess for them it's important to show us what human rot looks like. That is true. I might be doing such naughty plays myself, but there is a big difference between corporal competition and company corruption. By company, I mean the company of other people. I don't contact the media to say some CEO was seen cheating on his wife to ruin his marriage. I do that to make his corporation's stock value drop. Actually, that reminds me of something from my past. Have I ever told you about my latest ex? That is true. I don't feel comfortable talking about my exes, and I'm glad you noticed that. I assume that is why you never ask me about any of my exes. But this time, I can tell you that story. I think it would make sense in the context of our conversation. You see, I wasn't always a dominating, rich, beautiful CEO. I think I told you that once too. Well, I mean, I was beautiful, of course, just not a beautiful CEO. In fact, before I wanted to start my first company, I was quite an average, quirky girl. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe that now, looking at me in my current state. But that's the truth. People can't change that much. Anyway, I think I told you my family used to be rich too. Or somewhat rich at least. Definitely not as much as I am right now, but there was some money raised. And obviously, for that reason, they told me not to tell anyone that they have that money. You know, security reasons. That's also why I never really wore fancy clothes or jewelry. And why I was given just $1,000 to start my first company. A long time ago, when I was in college, where, by the way, I was lying that I had a student loan to pay for it. In that college, I once met a guy. He was not rich nor popular, just a regular dude trying to find his place in life. But to me, at that time, he seemed like the most perfect guy ever. We were hanging out every now and then. But it seemed like he wasn't really catching on to the signs I was giving him. I wanted to confess my feelings to him, but I was so nervous back then, so it took a while for me to get enough courage. I finally did confess in our last year of college. But then he rejected me, saying he wasn't looking for a relationship at the moment. The friend zone has never hurt as much as it did back then. I was heartbroken and upset, but I understood what he meant. I thought maybe he just needed time. I mean, it's college time. People want to party and have fun before serious adult life. But then, soon after, I found out that he actually was in a relationship with a cheerleader, no less. I had no idea what he saw in her. Stupid plastic goddamn bimbo. Nevertheless, it hurt me deeply. As soon as I found out and saw them together, I wanted to confront him. Tell him what I really thought about this bastard. But then I realized it's no use. Even if I said all that, I wouldn't change his mind to make him date me instead. And in the end would accomplish nothing. So instead, I used my anger to focus on the college. I was so pissed off that I spent all of my free time on studying. And to actually finish the college with a summa cum laude achievement, which means with the highest praises. I was the only one in class that did that. Time has passed. I created my own company and learned some dominating tricks from my mom and professional experience. I was gaining recognition left and right for my achievements, which also brought me fame and even more money. Although I didn't really care that much about those, I still mostly focus on improving myself. Then one day, when I had lunch with my friends, I saw him again, the guy that rejected me. Old feelings resurfaced, and we started talking again. He told me he started to work at his family's company, which wasn't as big as mine or my parents', but it was rather nice. Some time passed, and we actually started dating. At that time, I didn't even focus on confessing to him. It just happened. But as more time went on, I kept noticing that most of the time I was paying for everything. Dinners, repairs, shopping. Although, to be honest, I didn't mind that much. I had enough money after all. But the numbers kept getting bigger and bigger. I was paying more and more for his stuff, or even stuff related to his family and their business. He even started taking business trips that I paid for but didn't go to. He said they're too important for him and that he has to take care of them alone. I suspected that maybe he started cheating on me. So I secretly installed a tracker app on his phone. It was the beginning of the smartphone era, and he still had an old BlackBerry, so it was easy to just jailbreak it. I guess I could have put a proper GPS chip into his phone, but it was a time when you could actually casually just take off the back of your phone cover to replace the battery. So he would have noticed. Anyway, since then, I'd been tracking his GSM signal. His phone was too old to have GPS, but it worked well enough at that time. And yes, it turned out he was in fact cheating on me. But not only that, he was doing that with my own secretary. I didn't want to confront him just like that. I wanted to surprise him. So instead, I blocked the debit cards he was taking from me, and any other source of money I was the owner of. Luckily, he didn't have access to my bank accounts, so that was much easier than I thought. I wish I could have seen his face when he realized that he can't pay for the hotel with my money anymore. Then he called me and was like, "Why did you do this? We should share because we're dating." I said sharing is when you split the bill, and I don't recall him ever paying for anything, especially stuff only he uses. And then the creme de la creme. I ended the call by saying to him, "Maybe ask my secretary to pay for you." "Oh wait, she can't. She's fired." When he came back home, which, let's be honest, wasn't his home anymore, it was just my home, all his things were already packed, ready to be thrown out. I asked him why he treated me like this. He said that he never wanted to be with me to begin with, because he thought I was creepy and weird. But then years later, he heard how I was rich and famous, and his family's business was failing, so he basically just wanted my money, and that the secretary was prettier than me anyway. I told him to get out instantly, having my servants yank his stuff out the door. He barely had anything. Everything else was mine. and I almost yanked him out myself. But that wasn't the end. I couldn't let this go just like that. I should not tell you what I did to that and my ex-secretary. But, you don't need to worry about it. It won't happen to you anyway. One thing you can know for sure is that, that day, I made everyone realize why I can be terrifying and how much I can be terrifying. And why you should never mess with me. And even though my heart was broken that day, completely shattered to pieces, I kept going, letting it heal. Until one day, I met someone that could melt the pieces back into the whole shape, and then have that completed heart flutter. Oh yes, I wonder who that person was. But yes, that breakup left me with serious trust issues. That's why with you, I felt like I had to force that trust at first. And don't apologize, darling. You have nothing to be sorry about. I finally gained trust in you organically. I know it might not be perfect. That trauma will last a while, still making me a serious yandere. But it's definitely better than it used to be. Ever since we've met, things have been going great between us. And I'm truly lucky to have you. And that no one else will. You're always so cute when you blush. Was that a yawn? I guess today was a long day at work, huh? You deserve some rest. Just to let a mommy cuddle and kiss you. And you can fall asleep in my arms. My lovely baby. My hard worker. My sexy darling. Oh, already snoring. You must have been really tired. Good night, honey. I can't wait to marry you. You know, I actually already have the ring ready. But, that's for later.